Hello friends, today in this video we are going to talk about the concept of blockchain. Before going into the concept directly, I would like to touch upon one more topic, which is kind of an base to understand before we understand blockchain. Say what is Web 1, Web 2 and Web 3. In short, Web 1 was about, say, having data on network which you can only read but it cannot be shared. So example of Web 1 could be a website where you could just read the information but you can't share anything. Web 2 was about say data which could be shared, say for instance the social media websites, like say Facebook or YouTube, where it had a client server technology where there is a server and then you as a user are a client. So if you are, say, using Facebook, then whenever you type facebook.com, it is server of Facebook where you ask something like that serves you some as per the Facebook's functionality, and then based on that you would, say, share your photos, you could comment, you could add friends, and you could do a lot more things which are available on Facebook. So that was about Web 2. So Web 1 was just a read-only kind of thing. It's all say made of network, but Web 2 is kind of client-server technology wherein you could also share the information. And now we are going into Web 3, that is Web 3.0, where you could not only view the data but you could share the data, and even you can execute the program over the network. So if we have to talk about blockchain, then it is a kind of so as the name suggests, block and the chain. So it is a block wherein all the information is stored, and once the first block is filled up, then there would be a next block which is created, and first block and second block and third block, all these are attached in form of a chain. So the beauty of blockchain is it is using cryptography, wherein you can't actually edit or delete any information or change any piece of information in it. So that's something which is about, say, blockchain. So if we have to, say, look at the scientific definition, so blockchain is called as a shared immutable ledger that facilitates the process of recording transactions and tracking the business assets, the business network. So because of that, nobody could tamper the information which is there in the network. And it is not, the network is not owned by any one specific company. Say Facebook is a company which is owning the server for Facebook, YouTube owns the YouTube server, but here nobody owns the network. It is distributed, and there are network participants who are actually using the network. So there are typically three types of blockchains that which are there. One is public blockchain. So when we say public blockchain, the example could be the good example could be Bitcoin. So it is a large distributed network that runs through a native token, and they are open for anyone to participate at any level and have open source code that the community can maintain. So what happens is you can buy Bitcoin, sell Bitcoin, or you can participate in the Bitcoin transactions, and it's on the network. It's public can access it. So that's Bitcoin is an example of a public blockchain, and there could be like many more examples. Then there are certain blockchains which are, say, permission driven. So they are, say, permission based blockchain. One of the example of permission based blockchain could be Ripple. So Ripple controls the role of individual who are playing games over network. So they are still large and distributed, and they also use the native token, but the core code may not be an open source code. So that's accessible based on the permission of the members. So that can be called as a permission blockchain. And then there are private blockchains. So private blockchains are kind of very closely controlled by their members. So they are again blockchains, but they are very closely controlled by the members, and they would form a consortium of a trusted member or kind of a gated community, and then the information is traded in confidence with all the members. So that's three broad type of blockchains which are there. That is public blockchain, permission blockchain, and the private blockchain. And all these blockchains are using cryptography, so no participant could actually edit or delete any information, and information as it is it's stored in each of the block. So the beauty of blockchain is if you want to understand the application of this technology, so there are many wide applications which we can think of, but to fundamentally understand, if we look at say the current method of transaction, so we have say entities wherein say Facebook is an entity or Google is an entity, and we as a user are entity. Individuals who are using these, or the companies or institutions which are using these technologies are entities. But this whole concept of entities is there say maybe from last say 200 years. So if you compare this concept of entities, countries, cities, states, companies, institutions, so this whole concept of entity is not more than 200 years old. If we compare this period with the period of human evolution, so that's a very short period of time. It's a very finite period of time, and today what we are experiencing in economy is there a currently we are today what we are experiencing in economy. So currently we are having the lowest level of trust in any of the financial or non-financial transactions. So blockchain is something which has a technological capability to solve this problem of distrust. So what happens is, say consider any legal process, maybe say payment, or you're buying a good. So and if something goes wrong, and the other party, say in physical environment, other party could tamper the evidence, and you may not say have say in the court of law, because the evidence in physical world could be tampered. But when it comes to blockchain, since nobody can edit or delete any part of information, it retains the original evidence. So if evidence cannot be tampered, then that creates a sense of responsibility and sense of adherence, and that is how blockchain builds the trust in the system. So blockchain is a technology which has got ability to build trust in the system when we are transacting between two entities, two individuals, or maybe two countries. So there is no say geographical limit for the blockchain. It is not owned by any government. It's a distributed network owned by the members, and that's the beauty of blockchain. So I hope I have explained you the concept of blockchain as much as easily as possible. But if you have any questions, or if you need more explanation on the concept of blockchain, please post your questions in the comment section. So this is the series where we will be talking about blockchain, and we'll be exploring furthermore different concepts within blockchain. So if you're interested, stay tuned.